We know, like us, our listeners spend countless hours every week taking care of loved ones, but most probably don't have an estate plan. Sampson McPhee lawyers can help.
Estate planning allows you to make the big decisions now, like who will take care of your kids if you pass away, and allows you to control how your assets will be distributed and managed.
Estate planning is extra important for parents, common law partners, and people with blended families.
Call Kelly at Sampson McPhee at 902-563-5906 to find out about special pricing for our listeners.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
The lighting's really good in here. I was just really, I hope it's working for us.
Yeah, I think it must be. Brandon, how are you looking over there? 2 thumbs up. Well, now that I know I'm late often, but how panicked were you in the last 60 minutes
I was
of our
wondering
lives
if you were
here?
going to say that. I try not, I'm glad I wasn't here because I feel like I would have been because I would have been worrying about their time and, you know, like freaking out.
Yeah.
But I was just in your driveway. So I feel like I was like, it's okay. Like, it's going to be
Which
fine.
I'm laughing at because you could have been in my house.
I know,
like,
but I didn't want
relaxing.
Pat to have to feel like he had to entertain me.
Oh, right. Okay.
He told me that too. He came out. He was like, you know, you can go inside.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like it was my first time there.
Yeah. I
But
have
I
to
was
start
just
off
like,
by just apologizing to everyone here because I know I'm usually late, as these ladies know as well, but I was like very, very late because a meeting.
It happens.
Yeah.
Life.
Meeting went late. But anyway, appreciate all of your time. Happy to be here. Happy to be doing this episode. Should we introduce our
these lovely
guests?
So first we'll introduce Toula. So Toula Joseph is a professional makeup artist located in Cape Breton. She has a decade of experience in the beauty industry, including 9 years in permanent makeup. She is self-employed and works alongside her sister-in-law, Melissa. Together, they co-owned Studio Meraki before transitioning to a cozy small studio after COVID. Toula is a wife and a busy mom of 2 amazing kids, ages 11 and 9. When she's not making people feel beautiful, she's nurturing a lavender farm in Cox Heath with her family. Helping others feel beautiful is what drives her every day.
Melissa Sifnakis has been a professional makeup artist and lash technician for the last 13 years on Cape Breton Island. This fall, she plans to expand into the permanent makeup industry by adding scalp micropigmentation to her list of services. Locally born and raised, Melissa lives in Sydney with her husband, Carson, Toula's brother, and their 2 dogs, where they have also been Airbnb hosts since 2018. When she's not helping others feel good about themselves, she loves to spend time outdoors with friends and family and travels whenever she can. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
I feel like this is a long time coming. Like
It
we've been
has
like in the
been.
works for like a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so happy that you joined us. How are we all feeling?
Good.
Good.
We're good.
It's a mixed bag of emotions.
That's fair.
I know.
Everyone feels that way when they first sit down, I think.
It's going to be okay.
I'm nervous, obviously, but I'm super excited too. This is
we'll
one
have
of
some
those
fun.
things that, you know, I've wanted to tick off the list. Make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, we're there.
And it's not easy to talk about yourself. It's also not easy to sit and listen to a bio about yourself.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
very hard. And I even remember that when we did that for ourselves, when we first started, to have to listen to that, you're just like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah, it was
like,
weird.
You know, everyone is uncomfortable with a compliment. Like, you know, I like your hair. And it's like, oh, I washed it.
Yeah.
You know, like we suck at taking compliments about ourselves. So
I like your dress. It has pockets.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so
exactly.
funny.
Well, Toula made me feel beautiful on my wedding day.
Me as well.
And Melissa was there too.
Yep.
You worked on the bridesmaids, but I'll never forget how beautiful I looked that day. And I literally was like, wow, like I have so much potential. Like if I could figure out how to do this, I would like rule the world. Like I looked so good. It took a village, but we got there.
We also
did. You
walked
look
in here today
stunning.
and we were like, oh,
Oh, they
right.
look so
Look
good.
how beautiful they are. We're just going to sit over here next to one
Yeah, we didn't want to
another.
sit by you too.
Both of you have had a hand in most of my big events in my life,
Yeah.
really. Big
Yeah.
or small, just every day.
Yeah.
Thanks to Melissa, I have lashes and I feel
Yeah.
like a real human most days because of you. And Toula, my wedding, same thing.
Yeah,
We're
I
all
think every time I've gotten my makeup done, it's been by you, Melissa. Like I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Other
Yeah.
than your wedding day.
there. And then- yeah.
Yeah. But between the two of you, it's
Absolutely.
like the go-tos of
Yeah.
Cape Breton.
Like weddings, photo shoots, engagement shoots, baby shoots, just because like there's so
I
many
know.
times that
Wine and
Yeah.
dines.
wine and
Yeah, the
dines.
wine and dines.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I love how I can just be like, she's like, what are we doing today? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. Just do something, right? I don't know. Make me look beautiful.
Yeah.
You always do.
And we have so much that we want to ask you and talk about. I really want to jump into like sister-in-laws working together and what that's like.
Yeah,
but
that worked out good.
Circle around to that. But this theme really is about not just what you do in terms of like makeup and artistry, but also the importance of like taking time for self-care. And, you know, I've joked on here a few times that people will be like, did you have a birth plan? And I'm like, yeah. Get lashes and listen to the medical team. Like that's my birth plan. So like lashes made me feel good when otherwise I looked probably like a wreck. And you know, so those little pieces like sometimes may seem silly at different points, but like it's really important. Those things matter, right? And you do have a hand in like making us feel better about ourselves really most days. And it's such important work. So I'm really excited to jump into it. We also put a question box up on Instagram and a few questions came in there as well. So we'll ask those. And really we're just going to talk all about like your creativity and the art and the work you do daily, but then also like entrepreneurship and being in the service industry and working together in various capacities and what that's been like for both of you. Sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good plan?
Yeah.
All right. Each of you, I think, like if we go back to the start, each of you have pretty unique journeys that brought you to where you are today. Can you walk us through those in terms of like following passions and choosing careers and what that looked or felt like for you?
I mean, do you want me to go first or?
Do you want me to go first?
Doesn't matter. I feel like we kind of have similar stories. I feel like a lot of makeup artists have similar stories and how they got into the business.
Definitely our generation, which kind of makes us sound a little bit older.
Right.
But I know if I had known out of high school that I could become a makeup artist and go to school for that, I definitely would have. I had a few detours along the way before I actually did go to cosmetology school and become an esthetician and a makeup artist, because back then it was just not just, but like only hairstylists.
Yeah.
That's what you could do, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. You kind of test out a couple of different things to see what you want to be when you grow up. But I always really, really loved makeup. And when I had the opportunity to do it for a living, I definitely wanted to jump at the chance to do it.
Yeah.
And like I'm aging all of us here, but we didn't grow up in the time where like we were watching TikToks of makeup. Like that,
No.
we weren't exposed to like that piece of the
There
world.
was some YouTube, I feel like
Not
had
when
like
we were-
not when we were younger,
Yeah.
but like in the last probably like 15 years.
Yeah.
I feel like there was some makeup tutorials, but like
But like thinking
didn't-
of like you were interested in makeup and you were, you know, had a talent and we were good at that. Like that was, I don't want to say necessarily unique, but it wasn't like thrown at you or shown to you that you could do that. You kind of had to
No.
figure that out
well,
on your
in
own,
school you're
right?
told you can do 5 things.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah,
a teacher, be
absolutely.
a police officer, go to a trade. Like those are the things that you can do.
Yeah.
And we're not like taught to like explore our creative interests, right?
You might even be talked out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about you, Toula? What did that look like for you?
Well, I was talked out of going to art school. I
Really?
shouldn't say I talked out of it, but it's
Discouraged.
discouraged. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
where is that going to take you kind of thing. I think a lot of makeup artists, you know, have that background where they were always that person that got their friends ready.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask you that. Were you
Yeah.
always those people?
Yeah. Like I feel like, I mean, there's always one in every group.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of start out there, you kind of fall into it, I guess, in that way. That continues to happen. And then for me, I mean, I did other things as well. Like I went to school, like I took applied communication arts. I actually did go get a trade.
Yeah, tell us
I'm a
about
welding
that.
inspector.
Yeah. Cool. I didn't know that about you.
Odd. I know. Well, actually, I didn't actually get to put it to work. I went to school for it, and the intention was to go out west and you know, put it to work.
Yeah.
But a recession happened at the time I finished school, so I didn't actually get to go away and do that. And then while all that was happening, I met my husband at Smooth Herman's.
Where every
Love
true
it.
love story
Aging us again.
starts.
Right?
Yeah.
So going out west and yeah, that wasn't really something that was in our plan, and we kind of shifted. And in the meantime, I worked at my parents' gym, where I kind of fell into makeup again, like where I was doing makeup for competitions, like friends and stuff that were doing. They needed like stage makeup, so I was asked to do that for numerous different occasions. And then I was on mat leave, and I was asked by a couple of photographers, Sherry and Brittany, and to do makeup for photo shoots. And from there, it just kind of felt like I should go to school for this. So, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how it like began.
Yeah. I also did like during that time when like the fitness industry was kind of like a thing for a while there. Like a lot of people were doing like fitness competitions. I did hair and makeup for that. I'm not a hairdresser. And then I also made competition bikinis. That was also a little thing I did on the side.
That's really cool.
So always creative, right? Like we talk about this creativity piece. You were always creative. Would you say you're creative in similar ways, in different ways, both? Like
similar and different.
Yeah. I can't sew a button on a shirt.
Right.
But she can make you a whole a fitness bikini. So in that way, we definitely differ. But for makeup and things like that, for sure.
And art school was in the cards, and then it wasn't. Toula, what? Like we talk about that from the perspective of creativity.
Yeah, I was on that path. Me and my art teacher were kind of gearing me up to go to NASCAD, and went for the portfolio preview and near shit my pants when I got there because I felt so different. Like, you know, everybody was so eccentric, and it really scared me. Like I felt like I didn't fit in. And that was just enough for me to chicken out. And there was other things in that. It wasn't just that, but maybe second guessing myself anyway, and then going there and feeling so uncomfortable. So I didn't go there, and
but it all worked out for a reason.
Yeah.
It's that imposter syndrome, right? Like, because when you think of creativity, we've had these conversations in different aspects, but like I'm someone who would never describe myself as creative. And we've talked about this before as a group too, because creative to me was equated to like artists, like people drawing or sculpting or singing, like very like tangible kind of creative arts type of fine art. And then when you think of art school, you may have like a certain stereotype or image in your head. So if you're going there and you feel different than the people around you, we start to question like, well, is your creativity good enough? Or is your skill as artistic as them? You know, like it's so funny the way we kind of compare ourselves.
That's exactly how I would put it. Like like imposter syndrome. Like I felt like I don't belong.
Yeah. Because you didn't look like the people around you or you weren't. It's so interesting how we do that.
When you both met, did you know this about one another, that you were both interested in makeup artistry? Like how did that?
When did you
it just
meet?
kind of happened.
Like, when did you
that just
start
kind of evolved?
Dating Carson? Is that how you met? First of all,
pretty much.
We knew each other because way back in the day, we both used to work in the mall,
right?
So we kind of knew each other, but we didn't know each other.
Yeah, it's not like we met at a party and it was like, "What do you do?" and all those things, right? So the dynamics were definitely different. I started dating her brother, 13 years ago. So I don't know.
Did you take aesthetics before I went to makeup school?
Yeah, I was fresh out of aesthetic school.
Yeah, and when
I started dating Carson.
Yeah, and I was
Sam was
Sam was 3 months old, I think, when I went away to Halifax.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge deal.
It was a lot.
That must have been hard.
I mean, it wasn't a huge deal. It was just it was a commitment.
Yeah.
It was challenging. So I like stopped breastfeeding and I went. Funny thing is, my mom actually went with me.
Love that.
I think she was scared that I'd be traveling, like, because my classes started at, I think it was Sundays at like 9 a.m. So I would get up at like 4 a.m. because I wanted to spend every minute that I could with my baby.
Yeah.
And I would drive at 4 a.m. to Halifax, and then our classes finished on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. So I would drive straight home after classes.
Wow.
So my mom was terrified of me driving those hours by myself and staying up there. So she actually signed up to come with me.
Oh, like she did the course
She's a
too?
makeup
She did it
artist.
too.
I thought she was just like your co-pilot.
No.
She did the course.
She
too.
did. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
didn't know
because I've
that.
seen
Yeah.
her
She's
doing
the
makeup
coolest woman
before
ever.
in
Right?
pictures, in different pictures.
I want to
Yeah.
be here when I grow up. Really,
Wow.
she's just so cool.
She is a cool lady.
She
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you can understand that now as a mom, why she would do that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Like
Like-
when they're not with you, it's all you think about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
even
for sure.
and that job never ends apparently. So
Right.
well, we know that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, even when your kids are 30 and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember saying that to my mom when Bo turned 1. I'm like, I thought this feeling of like keeping them safe, like I thought I did it like the first year, like that worry would dissipate. And she's like, you're 31 and I worry about you every day.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, God damn it. Like I
Yeah.
thought I was
It
through
never
it.
It gets
ends.
harder, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was through it.
Yeah.
So you were done school at that point.
Yeah.
So you were, yeah.
Yeah, I was finished. And when I worked in the mall, I actually worked in a cosmetic store.
Mhm.
So I was able to play with makeup and, like have some clients and do some makeup. And again, I was the friend that always kind of helped people
Yeah.
get ready,
Yeah.
going to Herman's and the Capri.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was a 3-year difference. But I think the very first wedding that I did was with Toula,
Yeah.
and it was Bria Green's.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. She just did my hair today.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just came from her shop.
Yeah, your hair looks
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah.
we kind of entered into it separately, but we were good motivators for each other.
Yeah.
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 And we did work separately, but then eventually we did
Yeah.
Yeah.
work together.
It's nice to have a companion in that to like be able to bounce things off of and like, just get a pulse for like what's happening
Yeah.
around you in the industry and that kind
So
of thing.
you opened Studio Meraki.
Right.
So how did that come to light? Like, is this conversation that started happening over dinner? Like, because that's a big thing to start your own business.
I think it's something that we kind of talked about, but didn't really know how we were going to go about it.
Mhm.
And then the opportunity arose to kind of take over another salon and make it our own. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
And we ended up working with a really, really great large group of people that we're all still really close with. We chat with all the time. We work with really often because a lot of us are still in the wedding industry.
Right.
But like a lot of places with COVID, it was just things had changed and the dynamics were different and nobody could really tell you it was going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just kind of finishing up a lease and looking at a new place and getting ready to invest a lot of money into a new space. And we just kind of decided that then wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the hardest decisions we ever had to make.
It was sad.
It was
we had
really
put a
sad.
lot into it.
Yeah. That was a
and-
great space.
And there's a certain amount of pride,
Yeah,
with like
definitely.
owning your own
Ego,
business
yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
to fold it, like when it kind of wasn't like, it was kind of out of our control too with the things that happened. And
Yeah.
anyway, it was hard. It was a hard
We didn't want to break
decision.
up the band.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was it was definitely a hard decision, but in the end, like I said, we still talk to all the girls and everybody's doing really great.
Yeah.
And we found our own thing.
Yeah. You work
Yeah.
together now in the
Yeah.
same space separately, but in
Yeah.
the same
Yes.
space. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
a fair way to say it? Yeah.
Yeah. We're both self-employed. We don't have like a business name or anything. We just work alongside each other
Mm-hmm.
in the same space.
Yeah,
in,
that's so
in
nice.
Melissa's studio.
Yeah.
Attached to her house.
Yeah.
It's so
Or
beautiful.
your brother's garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
But it's good because honestly, I don't know how much we would see each other. Like it's brought us so much
It's brought
closer
us
together.
closer. Yeah, absolutely.
We've
We-
become friends, not
Mhm.
just sisters-in-laws. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times you can be married to somebody and they have a sister and you can like them and everything's
Mhm.
great and you see each other at turkey dinner and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But
Yeah.
we see each other every day and
Mhm.
life's busy. So a lot of times outside of work, we don't get to see each other.
Right.
So it's kind of where our relationship is and where it's been fostered. And it's
Nice.
worked out well.
Yeah. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Has there been like challenges along the way? Not necessarily just with one another, but in your roles, like you're so talented and skilled in the work that you do, but then on top of this, you throw in like entrepreneurship and like the different things that come along with that. Like, has that been an interesting space to navigate? Like we've felt some of those growing pains of like, I don't know.
We're just good at talking.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
I don't know
mean?
the business side of this all
Yeah.
the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
what has that been like for both of you, each of you, together, separately?
I think I think a lot of what it is for me anyway, and I'm sure I can speak for Toula, is that what people see is that we are makeup artists, and you can book with us, and you can, we'll come and spend our time with you on your special day, but all the things that go into it. So we're also our social media manager.
Yeah.
We're the
Right.
secretary. We do all the running around. We have to do all the other things because it is just us separately, but
Inventory on your
together.
product.
There's a lot to it.
There's
Yeah.
so much to
There's
it.
so much behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so much to it. Like it's sometimes it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Like we really enjoy it, but it's not just the fun things.
Yeah.
There's all the small little business things that are really important, and you have to learn how to do them and do them efficiently. And they take up time too. And then you also want to be able to spend some time with your family, and it's hard to separate work from like your social life and your family when it is just you. You are
It.
are the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you enjoy what you're doing too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that adds an extra layer, right? Where you're just not like slamming your laptop shut at the end of the day and leaving. When it's your own business, it's your baby,
Yeah.
you know, and you love it, and you want to like.
You don't get to.
There's no break, right?
No.
Right? Yeah.
No, there's
Like I
none.
saw
There's no closing
a
the
thing going
laptop.
around once, and it's like I really wanted like more, time to myself, so I opened my own business. But now I work 24/7.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
so funny because
Yeah.
it's so true.
Yeah.
That you're never not working because
You're also the face of it, right? Like literally and figuratively. Do you guys feel pressure that way? Like as
Total
makeup
pressure.
artists to feel like you always need to have your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I leave the house so often looking like a disaster. I hope you feel like you can do that too, but is there an
Oh, I
added
do.
pressure to that?
I feel like I'm in disguise. It's like Clark Kent. If I can go to Sobeys,
Yeah.
in my jogging pants and no
Yeah.
makeup. COVID was great for the masks.
right.
yes,
In that
Right.
aspect, right? Like if you just had to go out and
Yeah.
just fire on a mask and nobody
Yeah.
really knew it was you.
Yeah.
There's definitely
Yeah.
a little bit of pressure, but honestly, just because we do makeup for a living, it doesn't mean I showed up with my makeup in a Ziploc bag today.
Yeah, we got to get a shot of that.
That is
literal
so
Ziploc
funny.
bag, makeup inside.
Yeah, we're not always done up all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, we're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gotta go get groceries
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I just
Do all the
imagine there's an
things.
extra bit of pressure there.
You want to look professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you don't always have to look perfect, but you want to look professional. For me, I definitely feel like I need to show up looking put together because I have people coming in and trusting me to tattoo their face.
right.
right.
So I feel like I want to at least take that part of the equation where
Right.
they're not looking at me thinking like she's a hot mess. This person's touching me with a needle.
Right.
Like,
Right.
And when
so-
I think about makeup, like makeup hasn't always been like a big thing for me. And I used to say like, oh, I don't have time for that. But as I got older, I realized like, no, you just don't prioritize it because you do have time. You have time for anything that you want to prioritize. So like I prioritize sleeping more.
Yeah.
So like I don't get up earlier and do my makeup. And I think too, the second part of it is because I don't know how.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, well, I'm not going to put a lot of time into, you know what I mean? But I look at other people and I'm like, oh my God, like it looks so good, but it's like, well, they had to learn too, you know?
right.
But I just haven't put the time in, but like,
Mm-hmm.
it looks so good when it's done well. And
Yeah.
you feel so confident. Like when my makeup is done, I feel so good about myself. When I have my eyelashes on, I don't know, like there's just a spray tan, eyelashes, and not to say that like I'm not confident in who I am without those things, but it does really make you feel a certain way
It
when
does.
you feel like you look your best.
Yeah. Look
Yeah.
good, feel good.
And you don't need a full face every day,
No.
but
Right.
there's definitely those things,
Yeah.
like I can't leave the house without my mascara,
Okay.
my brows,
Yep.
and my bronzer.
Okay.
Like those are the must-haves.
What
But I
about you? What are
think-
your must-haves?
Definitely mascara and brows. Probably a little bit of blush.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm like,
Because
what
it's
are
always
my
changing
must-haves? I
too.
don't
Like
even
when you
know
say
enough to
bronzer,
know.
it's like, okay, like you just figure out how to do it. And then it's like, okay, no, now we're contouring a different way.
Mhm.
Like we're going up now or something, or like with the concealer,
Yeah, I was
used to
gonna
be
ask
like the
about that.
triangles, and now
Yeah.
you got to go up here and do here. Like, whoa, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And I think as you age, there's probably like techniques that work better for
Yeah.
you or whatever you're trying to
I would
achieve.
love how to learn to do just like a base face. Like
Yeah.
here are the five things you need in your beauty bag for a base face, and then grow from there.
Yep.
Right? Because I feel like basically all I use is a color correcting tinted moisturizer. That's it. Throw that on and I'm out the door.
But the no makeup look is really big right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even for bridal looks, like it's not as heavy.
Ah.
It's still a bit of makeup. Like we spend a lot of time kind of explaining the difference between neutral and natural, because people will say, like, I'd really love to have a natural look. And they'll show us a picture and we're actually like, well, that's an hour appointment and a lot of
Yeah.
makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
But it photographs well, and it just looks like a really clean,
Yeah.
like aesthetic. Great. It's not heavy. It's not bright colors. It's neutrals, browns, soft pinks. And you can do that during the day too. You know, it's not meant to be this big mission. It's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
It's meant to make you feel good.
It's
Not
like
stress you out.
That no
Yeah.
effort look actually takes a lot of effort.
Right.
Like there's
Yeah.
effort in achieving that, right?
Definitely.
And the reason I asked about the like your own, if you feel any pressures, because it's like a walking billboard, right?
Yes.
Not necessarily that it has to be, but I wondered if you felt that way, because I know like if I'm communicating and I'm teaching, I'm like, then I think about that carpenter thing, like a carpenter's house
Yes.
is never finished or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
The mechanic.
yeah.
So true.
But it's true in terms of like trends. Like you both are very active in the wedding industry. Do you see, or I guess whether that's wedding makeup or other makeup applications, but like you're exercising creativity in that every day. Do you have a favorite type of aspect of makeup to do? A favorite look to achieve? Does it change depending on who's in your seat? Are there current trends that you're loving or hating? Like you're talking about the bronze going up. Like I've seen that. I don't know how to do it. Is that something you are like, okay, yeah? Or are you like, oh, another trend, like this will come and go?
And
Like, what does that look like?
You must have to continuously be learning. Like
Yeah.
you're never an expert in what you do because, well, I shouldn't say that because you are an expert in what you do, but like there's always a new style or a new way to do something that you feel like you always have to keep up on too, right? As the trends
A little
evolve.
bit.
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's always changing. God, you can learn so much from YouTube these days.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
has TikTok influenced what people are asking for in your chair? Like I come in like Jess and I'm like, do whatever you want. I don't know enough to ask for something specific, but I'm assuming some people probably do.
Yeah, some do. I think what makes it a little, you try it on yourself, right? I don't have to wait for someone to sit in my chair to try a new trend.
Right.
I can practice on myself, and you can too. Like when you go home and you want to try something, if it doesn't work out the first time, wash it off and do it again.
Yeah.
So it is always changing, and it is practice, and you do have to keep up on it, but it's something that you can work on yourself. And every canvas is different. So every single person that sits in your chair,
Yeah.
even if, you know, the whole bridal party is going to have like a soft, neutral, glam look, everybody's still going to look different because everybody's face is different and their skin tone is different.
Any favorite?
Favorite looks?
Yeah.
Honestly, like for me, it's all about the skin.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, the dramatic eye looks and stuff like that. I mean, they're beautiful, but like nothing looks as good as when your skin looks glowy and flawless. And yeah, that's kind of like where it all starts. So just having like that, you know, not perfect, but you know what I mean? Just making the skin look good is kind of the most important thing in my mind.
So like skincare is a huge piece. That
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hydration. We were just saying that earlier.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, though.
Tell us,
So-
tell us the thing about as someone who never, well, I've been doing better with my water
Drinking
intake,
water.
but
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Water's
The
important.
hydration.
like how important?
Really important. And we know when you don't drink your water. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. How do you know? Don't look at me.
Or like you need to drink water. Melissa's like,
All I
they'll
had
drink
today
water
was tea.
No, but like they'll drink water the day before their appointment, being like, I drank water. She's like, yesterday, but like not for the last
How do you know?
X amount of months.
It's just your skin just has a little bit more bounce to it. It's a little more hydrated.
You've never said anything to me. You should tell me next time.
Next time.
Be like, you didn't drink water. You need to call me out.
She means
'Cause
like
I've-
consistently.
Yeah.
Like we can tell
Just
if
in
you
general.
are someone who generally stays
But
hydrated.
I would want
or
to do that
not.
now. Like knowing she knows that, now I'm like, oh, like I'm not going to Melissa's without like being prepared.
But you have to start now. You can't just do it the day before the appointment. That's
I'll
what
do it
she
like a week
means.
before.
No, that's
No.
what they're saying. They
Water,
know
your
if you
body
consistently
is
drink
like
it or
you
not.
need water.
Okay, that's embarrassing to know. So I will 100% do that now.
It's important for your skin. I
No,
know.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And moisturizer and sunscreen.
Yes.
Sunscreen's a big one.
I know, but it's thick.
Not all of them are.
I've tried so many different ones. The smell of them, like the thickness. I don't know.
You can get the BB creams that have
Okay.
your SPF in them.
What about
so
sprays?
those are great.
The Kula brand?
I've never heard
Like
of
a
that.
spray sunscreen for your face. Okay, if you haven't heard of it, then never mind.
It sounds lovely, but I haven't heard
Okay,
of
never
it.
mind. I'll have to send it to you.
Are you ready to foster a deeper connection with your child and grow yourself in the process? Welcome to Conscious Parenting Coaching with Cheryl Fogarty, where your journey to enlightened parenting begins.
Cheryl believes that to truly connect with your child, you must first dare to grow yourself up. Her personalized coaching sessions help you communicate effectively, manage stress, and create a harmonious family environment.
With a unique approach that combines the latest in child psychology, mindfulness practices, and compassionate communication techniques, Cheryl guides you through the challenges of parenting with wisdom and grace. Whether you're dealing with toddler tantrums or teenage angst, she's here to support you every step of the way.
Join a community of conscious parents who are transforming their families one mindful moment at a time. Visit www.cherylfogarty.com or find Cheryl on Instagram at @theconscious_ish mom to schedule your free 30-minute discovery session with Cheryl.
Conscious Parenting Coaching with Cheryl Fogarty, where mindful parenting meets joyful living. Because every moment with your child is a chance to grow together.
I find like my moisturizer in the morning has sunscreen in it.
Okay.
So like I just put
Mine too.
sunscreen on every
Same.
single day. It doesn't matter if it's cloudy or if it's winter or
What is your go-to skincare? Because that's what we want to know. That's what people always want to know. Like, what is the best skincare out there?
I think like everything. No, you're never going to look in somebody's makeup bag or in their cabinet and they're going to have one full line of something, right?
Mhm.
So you're going to have a lipstick that's from one brand and
Yeah,
then
I'm
you're gonna
realizing
have-
that now.
Yeah, so double cleanse your face. That's important. So you
The
want to
double
wash all your
cleanse? What's the I don't know about the double
I was like,
cleanse.
explain
What's
what
the
that
Well, you
double
want to
cleanse?
wash all your makeup off, but then you want to wash it again and make sure that you've actually like kind of the way you double cleanse your hair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
same
I've
idea.
only just started doing that too.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard about the double cleanse. I feel guilty.
No,
But I
We're
know
all
the double
learning.
cleanse with the hair, so I guess it makes
yeah, same idea.
sense.
So you just want to
Yep.
wash off your makeup
Yeah.
and then give your skin an actual good cleansing, right? So some people you will use like an oil, like a cleansing oil, or you can just use what you have.
Oh, okay. I do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was like, I do
Yeah.
that. I
So
just never
I do
called
that.
it
Never
that.
mind. I
And,
didn't
like,
call it that. Yeah.
So, like, you know, when you see all these things, it's like there's some people have hundreds of steps in their skincare routine.
Yep.
Like, what are the must-haves? Okay, so we need a cleanser.
Yep.
We need a good moisturizer.
Right.
Do we
Exfoliator.
need anything in between? Like serums, toners.
Definitely an exfoliator.
Okay.
So you don't want to use that every day.
right.
But it is really important to get rid of dead skin so that your makeup goes on better.
Yep.
But also any other products that you use, it doesn't have to try and get through that dead skin first.
Right.
So it's just going to kind of like soak in a whole lot better.
So you're getting more of like bang for your buck too out of your product if it's actually. Are serums a must? Because I think a serum is my favorite. Like that silky.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend that too?
Hyaluronic acid.
Yes.
Okay.
It's great.
I like vitamin C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells good too.
Mm-hmm. Use it in the morning, but make sure you use your sunscreen
Orange.
because you are more apt to burn.
Right. I have rosacea, so I'm nervous to use exfoliant. But I feel like there's probably like gentle ones that I could use that don't have like the beads in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
you
would
can,
like.
you can get just like a liquid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's almost like a toner, and you can use that as an exfoliant too. So you
I
don't have
need
to
like
be
a
so.
consultation. I'm like, come to Shoppers with me, or
There's
come to
so
Sephora.
many-
Sephora scares me. It's like
So many
overwhelming.
different exfoliants.
There's so
yeah.
much of everything.
There is so much of everything in makeup too. Like if you might not have like a favorite look or favorite trend. Like do you have favorite products or lines of products or certain like you love a good lip something from this person and this person is your go-to blush, or does
They all do.
that change?
They all have like a lot of the makeup companies have like their strong points.
Mhm.
I don't have any brand that I love more than others.
Mhm.
I like a little bit of everything from all the different brands. You just have to try them out and see, what works best for you. But yeah, we have like our favorites for certain things. Like, say Anastasia has always been like a great brow product. Whereas like Charlotte Tilbury is like known for their lips.
yeah.
You know,
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, pillow talk is all I know.
actually
Yeah.
don't
Pillow
know.
talk.
Yeah.
Like, give me all the
Sephora
things.
is overwhelming for us too.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
It
worry.
is.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
so much.
It's like you're like a kid walking
I
into a
bet.
toy store. Like you just like,
Were you excited to know that was coming here? Like when it opened, or were you like, oh no?
A bit of both.
yeah, a bit of both for sure.
Yeah. Because you can swing by and pick up whatever you need, but
Yeah.
you can also swing by and pick up whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Is there your makeup bag, excluding the Ziploc bag you showed up here with today, but like your own personal makeup bag, what you're doing, the products that you're using for your daily wear versus like your makeup kit, like what you're taking to a shoot or a wedding or a makeup application
Is a hot mess.
not the same thing.
Does it
Well,
look
you
the
would
same?
need
Does it
so
look different?
much. You would need so much stuff in that kit.
Yeah, no, it's totally different.
Walk us
Oh
through
yeah,
that.
the professional kit it's all the products that everybody wants,
For
like the hot
every-
products, the trending products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our own, that's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, would
Yeah.
we be surprised if we saw your makeup bag, not your kit?
Where is that bag? Brandon, is that bag nearby that we can grab that? Because I want to know what's in that. Like, is that the
What
basic
did
5 that
Melissa
I was
take
just talking
today
about?
as the essentials?
Well, I took it just to touch up what I already had on. Check by the coffee maker, Brandon. I think maybe it's just a Ziploc bag with some.
Because I think people get very overwhelmed. Like that's how I feel. But like maybe we just don't need a whole lot.
Okay, let's look at first of all.
I feel like that's a setting
the
powder.
Ziploc bag. Do you have a makeup bag, like a travel bag?
I do. I have a vanity that I sit at, and I just grab
Don't
things
drop
and
anything in
threw
there.
it.
Amazing to me.
How many brushes are in
I
there?
was just gonna say,
Well,
I see 2 brushes.
There's only 2 because my makeup was already done, right? So this was just for a touch up because I came to hang out with
This was your
Toula for a
touch-up
bit.
kit,
Kinda.
and we were
Kinda.
2 hours late. So
I don't know
What's
about
in
you,
it?
Melissa, but my makeup kit, like personally, consists, like I shouldn't be admitting this, but it consists of a lot of the things that I've taken out of my makeup kit.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like when I downsize my work kit,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what ends up in my
Yeah.
so
in-
it's a little bit more random. Like,
yeah, it's very random. It's just like all the good stuff is in my kit, and I
That setting
take
powder.
either the
Yeah.
dupes of the good stuff that I don't want to buy for myself,
yeah.
or when I downgrade something out of my kit
Yep.
and
So let's
decide I
talk
don't like it
about this for a
anymore.
second.
in my
Okay,
kit.
wait. Let's.
Okay.
What were you gonna say about this powder?
That powder is not that powder. That's a mixture of all the very ends of whatever was
Other
in my
stuff.
kit. So when I would
Oh.
replenish and put a new one in, I just like dump it into that. And that's what I've been using.
We have some translucent loose setting powder. We have bronzer. We have
What's the brand
blush.
of the bronzer? Quo? No,
By Mario.
by Mario.
We have a blush. We have a lipstick
Tell us the brands of
and a
these
lip
items.
oil and 2 brushes.
Is this MAC blush?
It is.
It
They
is.
make a good blush.
They do. They make a good lipstick too. You can't go wrong with MAC lipstick.
Okay, the MAC lipstick that you just did for one of your clients' weddings was called MAC. MAC by
Thanks,
MAC.
it's MAC.
Thanks, it's Mac. Oh, for Megan.
Yeah.
Stunner.
Yeah,
That color is stunning. I think I'm going to get it.
it's my favorite.
I
Color
don't know
right
if
now.
it'll look okay on my skin tone or not, but I'm willing to try. Because that's the other thing. When you see a look on someone, you think like, oh, like that color, I love it, but it doesn't look the best on your skin tone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But that color is stunning.
I
Stunning.
haven't had anybody that I've put that lipstick on yet that it looked bad
Oh,
on.
good to know.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
looks good on
It
everybody.
does.
Good to
Yeah.
know. Did you
Oh, I
use
was
a
like,
different?
Don't drop it.
loud.
The powder.
Did you use a different liner, or is it the same liner? underneath?
No. I don't know if they have. That doesn't.
Okay,
no.
so it's just
no,
it was
it's,
just that color.
Yeah, I don't think they have a matching liner for that, unless they do, and I'm just not aware of it. But no, I just had a Sephora liner. I can't remember the name of it.
And then did you put a gloss over top?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to
It
post
does have a gloss in it though.
that. Okay, I'm gonna get the gloss.
Yeah, it's a luster gloss.
because I love
Sold.
gloss. I don't like the matte look.
I don't either. I'm happy that trend's out.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say like it's not completely out, but do you remember the matte
Yeah.
lipsticks that were like
Yeah.
your lips were like cracking
Yes.
by the end of the day?
yes, I
Yeah.
do.
I'm happy that one's over.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
gloss.
Drink your water, people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We ask because I'm interested, because this is always the joke with like me or, some of our friends or people who like, if I talk to you guys, they're like, okay, well, you take your so-and-so brush. I'm like, just stop you right there. I have one brush.
Yeah.
Like I don't have I'm exaggerating. I have a couple, like I have a little eyeshadow brush and I have a blush brush and a bronzer brush, but
You got some brushes then?
I have a couple now, but like I could do with one or none. Like I don't really know what I'm doing when I use those, right? I'm just knowing that I should have more than one or whatever. So we had asked people, how many brushes do you have in your makeup bag? And someone said, I use my fingers, no brushes. Someone said 3, someone said 2, and I use both for everything, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, relatable, girl. What do you all say? Like, how many brushes should we have? And talk to me about like the importance of cleaning your brushes, like taking care of your
But first,
your
a beauty
tools.
blender can't be forgotten about either.
Yeah, like the sponge.
Because I feel like the spongy beauty blender I use more than
I love a beauty
Anything.
blender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff loves a good beauty.
Because it's
I
creamy.
love them. There's
Like-
you can't get a better flawless finish than a beauty blender, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And
Again, I don't use them on myself.
is it the beauty blender
But I-
brand?
What do you
or
use
can
on
we
yourself?
do? Like what are we
What-
using here?
I don't know. Whatever. Honestly, like I should show you mine because
Yeah.
it's a hot mess.
Okay.
But we get the job done.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because like the beauty blender is like all the rage.
No.
If I was going out, I would go into the studio and I would do my makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would use my professional kit.
Yeah.
Like if I was having branding photos done or even just going out with my friends. That's another
Yeah.
great reason to,
Mhm.
you know, for supper or whatever, if you want to get your makeup done, I will go out to the studio and I will pull out my kit and I will treat myself as though I'm one of my clients
Mhm.
and I do it all.
Mhm.
But I don't do it all at home.
How many brushes are you using when you do it all?
When I do it all,
A lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
You
I'm
could probably
curious.
get by with like 5 brushes in your kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
A really good
a foundation brush, like
Yeah.
a really good foundation brush,
Okay.
is a must-have, or a beauty. Well, I think you still need a foundation
Okay.
brush,
Okay.
and then your beauty blender would just be to kind of like even it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
A concealer brush.
Okay.
You need something to put powder on, so you'll need a powder brush.
Okay.
Um,
I also need powder. Okay.
a bronzer brush.
Yeah.
Eyeshadow.
because those are
Okay.
like otherwise you're using that one brush for everything, and like it's just all melting
Blending
together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You need to separate those products, so you need a brush for each of those things.
How important is setting
And
powder?
eyeshadow.
I don't own that.
Yeah. I
Do
feel
you?
like it no.
If you don't want creasing,
Oh.
so if you struggled with creasing, then you need setting powder.
So like for my wrinkly face, I should probably get
I
some.
do not have
Okay.
wrinkles.
I should probably get some powder.
We could also get Botox.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Solve that problem.
Yeah.
True.
True.
Yeah.
No wrinkles if you have Botox.
Well.
Well, it's true, depending on how much you get.
No, I know.
Well, I was just gonna say something about crap. What was I just gonna
Cleaning
say?
brushes.
Yeah. Or hooded eyes. So I have hooded eyes, and a lot of us do.
Same.
Mhm.
So I don't bother with eyeshadow because I'm like, you can't even see it.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see it when you raise your eyebrows.
But like, I feel like a liner and the lashes really make my eyes pop in that sense, right? Because they don't
Yeah.
have like,
You can go a little higher
okay.
with your shadow
Yeah.
when you have a hooded eye.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I feel like I always have to use a little more, because that's what happens. You open your eye and it's gone. But
Yeah.
eyelashes definitely help.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look at all of you to say like, what the heck is a hooded eye? Because I can see your eyeshadow.
see
It looks
your eyes.
beautiful.
Let me see your
I
eyes.
go a little higher with it.
You have hooded eyes too.
You guys should come for a lesson.
I would
Like,
love to
there's
come for a
definitely
lesson.
like
Absolutely.
a trick to doing hooded eyes.
I think we should do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should
How
definitely
to
do that.
contour. I want to learn how to contour. I want to learn how to do the under eye concealing with the dark circles.
What
Well-
are those 5? Yeah, like what is are we still contouring? Are we doing like what are the things we should be as like a basic entry level
work.
everyday makeup? What are you doing? What should we be doing?
I'm still contouring.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not everybody needs that in their
No, and
routine.
not so much like during the day, right? You can
Yeah.
definitely get away with a BB cream and then a little bit of concealer for anything that doesn't cover. Blush, how much you use is to your own discretion.
Yeah.
They talk about blush blindness.
Yeah.
I think there's a blindness for everything. It is
Yeah.
a thing. And we all do it. And we look back in 10 years and we're like,
I
"Oh,
know.
wow. Yeah. But
Like the eyebrows.
Yeah.
The history of
Oh,
eyebrows.
yeah.
yes, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Makeup has certainly calmed down a bit in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the eyebrows were a big thing.
Yeah.
They were so little and then they were so big.
little.
Yeah.
Remember? Just like our little
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's scary to look back on, actually.
Yeah.
Are we, though, I've seen, maybe I'm wrong, but I've seen this shift into like, there's more liquid versions of things, right? Or like sticks.
Creamy.
Like the
Yeah.
blush and the bronzer is not necessarily like powder anymore. Maybe it is. It can be, but it's also.
The underpainting
What?
is the new trend,
Okay.
which is really nice. It's just time consuming. So you might not be able to do that for a wedding because it does like its added steps that
What does that even
is a
mean?
little more time consuming.
Underpainting.
Underpainting. So you, everything is kind of more liquid.
Okay.
So you're using like liquid contour, liquid blush, and you're applying it first, and then you're putting your foundation over it.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're adding all your texture and everything underneath, and then you're putting your foundation on top of it. And it's kind of this like look from within.
Cool.
So it does look more well, I shouldn't say more natural, but it does have a very natural look to it. It looks like a lot until you put your foundation over it.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Cool.
extra steps. It's kind of one of those looks where people show you that they want this, natural
Right.
makeup.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I just want this. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
want this natural look. But that's like a really long process to get to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a shit ton of makeup.
How does it feel to be like, have you ever had a situation where someone's been like, I hate it, but like nothing pleases them? Like there must be so much, I want to say emotional labor or like character, like, I don't know, like subtle conflicts that are happening. Like, can you tell when someone really likes it, really doesn't? Like, how do you approach that if it's happening in the moment? Because you are like, there's a limited amount of time that you have to like do this, right? Especially I'm thinking of weddings, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time frame. Like, what does that feel like for you? Do you ever get nervous about that or no? Because you are so good at what you do. You don't have to worry about that now.
Some people are harder to read than others.
Hmm.
Some people will really let you know how they're feeling about it, and other people won't. So it's hard to gauge.
Right.
I think it's the same way you can read anybody, right? Like if somebody walks in the room and they're having a bad day, you can tell.
Yeah.
So even if they don't tell you, you can kind of gauge it a little bit and just be like, is there anything that you'd want to change? Like, don't be shy. I've never done your makeup
Yeah.
before, right?
You give them that opportunity.
Yeah, I try to give them the option. Like, really, I would prefer that you tell me now, and we'll fix it so that you leave and you feel good about yourself, because that's all I really want is for you to really, truly love
Yep.
how you look, and you want to feel good that day.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, instead of going in the bathroom and being like, I really should have told her that I don't
Right.
love this
Right.
lipstick.
Right.
Like, just let us know and we'll help you out and we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like that's just it, right? Like you're saying, like you really want people to feel good. And we've kind of mentioned this at the beginning of the conversation, but we've talked about it as a group before, kind of off the record, but thinking about how like we know you're active in makeup in weddings and the industry and all these different occasions that people like typically get their makeup done for, or get lashes or do like eyebrows or whatever it is that they want. But it's more than just for that, right? Like it doesn't have to be a special event to like if you want to feel good, right? Like it can be a night out with friends. It can be just because. It can be because you want a little bit of time for yourself in the space that someone's helping you feel better about yourself. And it really does come down to self-care. So like for you, what does that mean? Why is that important like in the work that you do?
I find it, maybe for my own selfish reasons, I find it really gratifying when somebody leaves and they feel good about themselves. We spend a lot of time looking on our phones and comparing ourselves to people's best because that's all that they really put out there. So if you have somebody that comes in, yeah, exactly, right? So if they come in and they're like, well, and they tell you what they don't like about themselves, but you're actually looking at them. We all have things that we don't like about ourselves. So when we look in the mirror, that's what we see first. But when I meet somebody new, I might see their beautiful eyes or their amazing eyebrows and all these things that we get to play with and play up. And there's so many opportunities to make somebody feel good about themselves. That's probably my favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. Same?
Yeah.
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 And you both mentioned permanent makeup. So explain to us
That is
what
so
that
interesting.
means and what that looks like for each of you.
Well, it's I guess it's a form of tattooing.
Yeah.
Permanent makeup. So I got into permanent makeup kind of as a branch of makeup artistry. Kind kind of what Melissa said, like you'd always have people, you know, saying like, oh, I love how you did that. I wish you could do that on me permanently. I wish you could do this for me every day. I feel so good when you did my eyebrows. So when I started seeing this new microblading trend on Instagram, I was like, I need to do that. That is so cool. How amazing would it be to be able to offer that to somebody, so they don't have to think about this. We could do it and make it permanent. So I jumped on that, and that was like 9 years ago that I did that. I did microblading, so it's a form of tattooing. When I first started, it was microblading. It was with a blade. You're essentially, you know, cutting the skin in the shape of a hair. So you're like drawing with a blade.
Okay.
And trying to give somebody little cuts in the shapes of hairs, and you fill it with pigment, and it's just another form of a tattoo. It's evolved a lot since then, so I don't do microblading anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people still do. It's just the technology has evolved. We've kind of had enough time with microblading to see how it ages over, 7, 8, 9 years. And it can still look nice that far down the road, but a lot of times, like depending on the amount of oil you have in your skin, it can kind of migrate because you're putting larger amounts of pigment in the skin. So the technology that I use now, well, I shouldn't say technology, it's a tattoo is what it is. We use a machine to do it. It's just more precise in how we're placing pigment in the skin. So it's all done with machine. I do machine hair strokes. Still the same effect as microblading. It just lasts longer and looks more natural over time, and the life of the tattoo is kind of extended. But yeah, it can look like real hair. We can also do the look where it looks like shading, like you filled in your brows with makeup. So that is called like a powder brow. And then I also do eyeliner and lip blushing.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's permanent in the way that it is like a tattoo, but it is, people kind of have to understand that it is not necessarily as permanent as a tattoo in the way that you will have to have it touched up over time.
Yeah. What does that usually look like? Is the lifespan like you can expect to have to refresh it every X amount?
It's different for everybody.
Okay.
There's different variables. Like if you're somebody that's super active and you're running all the time and you're exposed, your sun exposure, if you're not using SPF, if you're using chemical exfoliants on your skin all the time, that's going to break down your skin and it's going to fade out your tattoo quicker. So there's lots of different variables. You will have to have it touched up most likely. Usually anywhere from 1 to 3 years is average, but I also have people that come back like every 7 years.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different for everybody.
And is anyone a candidate for it, or do you have to have like a certain skin type
usually,
or existing brow or whatever to get it started?
Yeah. So some people are better candidates for certain procedures than others. Most people are candidates. So if you have like really oily skin, some procedures are better suited. Different styles are better suited to you. The only thing that would really prevent you from having the procedure done is like certain medical conditions or skin conditions, like if you had psoriasis in your brows or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, most people are candidates. It's just to find the style that, suits your hair type better.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, speaking of the permanent makeup, what you're going to be doing, the scalp micropigmentation.
Yeah.
Is that a similar idea?
Yep, it is. So it's also permanent makeup, or that's what it's considered to be. But it's more of a pointillism tattoo.
Okay.
So it mimics the look of a hair follicle. For males, you will either blend into their existing hair if it's shaved down so that it looks like a buzz cut, basically. Yeah. And then for women, you would be able to cover in areas that may be thinning a little bit, maybe from your ponytail or hormones. There is hair loss from COVID. There's all different reasons, and it'll kind of change the reflection of light on your scalp, so then you don't see the thinning areas as much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Melissa did my hair. She did, like, I have like on my crown, the part I find is always visible. So she shaded that in, and it's not as visible.
Now, what
Hair
is
thinning
this
is, like,
painful?
notorious in
Like,
my
what does
family.
this feel like?
No, I haven't had it done, but I've done it to others, and it's not painful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't find it painful. It feels like a little zap.
That could be a
Yeah.
huge confidence
a
boost for
really
people. Like,
gentle
holy
zap.
moly.
It is a big thing. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, for men, if you're a woman, you have hair extensions, lash extensions, Botox, fillers, all the things that we
Yeah.
all do. And it's not that males can't do that as well. Chances are they don't, or
Yeah.
they don't do as much, right? So hair loss for them is something that's completely out of their control.
Mhm.
And it's a really, really, it takes a toll on their mental health.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's nice to be able to offer that and kind of give them their confidence back.
Absolutely.
And then for women, those who do suffer with thinning or hair loss, it's not really something that we add to our list of things that,
Right.
you know,
Yep.
we do the crow's feet and,
Yep.
and all that stuff. So when it arises for a woman, we're generally a little bit shorter too, right? So we are self-conscious. Can they see the top of my head?
Yep.
Can they see where I'm thinning?
Mhm.
Or like if you pull your ponytail back and there's all this spot where your scalp is showing.
Mhm.
It's a really big thing to be able to kind of, you know, alleviate that stress from them when they're going out in social situations and give them back their confidence.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
One less thing they have to worry about.
Yeah.
So we've talked about all of these things. So we talked about makeup, you do lash extensions, permanent makeup, scalp, SMP.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to say what it is for now on. So how does one reach out to you both to book an appointment? They want to feel good. They want to give themselves some self-care, which I will say too, I'm in my social work program right now, and self-care has been one of the hottest topics that every prof talks about. And they're like, it's not just about going for a run. It's not just about getting a bath at the end of the day. Self-care is so much more than that. And you need to be taking care of yourself first and 100% of the time. I'm taking that and running with it.
It's not, for me anyway, when I think of self-care, I don't think of it as things you do to yourself for other people to see you in a certain way.
Right.
It's how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
Right? It's your mental health.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you feel good about yourself, you're going to have a better day.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's really important. And even if you come in and you lay in our bed and you don't want to talk to us,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Mhm.
Take a nap, relax, listen to a podcast. That's your time for you to do what you want so that when you leave, you feel a little bit better. So you
Yeah.
take the time that you need.
I have definitely caught myself snoring on Melissa's bed more than once.
I will never
I'm
tell.
like, oh no. And I like pretend I'm not sleeping, but
Yeah.
obviously I was just like, she has a full frontal view of my
Yeah.
face. My mouth is probably open. I'm probably drooling. And then I snore and like wake myself up. And I'm like, yeah. So like as if I wasn't sleeping. She could see me the whole time. It's hilarious. I always wonder what that view looks like from your perspective, like looking down like on someone's face when you're doing the
It's a lot of
eyelashes.
forehead.
It's like,
Yeah.
A lot of forehead
It's
and
like
some
an
lashes.
perspective.
Yeah.
So funny.
So yeah, how do people find you?
So my website is under construction, but it's coming soon.
Okay.
Instagram seems to be the best way to get a hold of me. I'm try to keep on top
Yep.
of my messages and everything. So it's Melissa Sif Cosmetic Creative.
Okay.
I don't think that there's anything else there that's close to that. So I'm
Yep.
pretty easy to find. And my picture is there as well. So you'll know that it's me.
And
And
we
you
can
can
put
book
it in
there.
the show notes so
Yeah.
that it's easily linked through this
Awesome.
episode. Yeah. What about you, Toula?
I'm on Facebook. I think I'm what am I on Facebook?
You're like me when someone asks me my cell phone number. I'm like, what is my cell phone number? I never call myself.
Yeah, I think, am I still under my old title on Facebook? I can't remember. Yeah, Beauty and Brows by Toula on Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's Toula Joseph Beauty Artistry. And my website is toulajosephbeautyartistry.com.
Awesome. We'll link
Awesome.
all
Yeah.
of that in the notes as well. Our final question for the day, because people need to know and we want to know. And someone wrote in and said, awake eyes, how? In caps. These mamas' eyes have been keeping it real since 2005. How do they make their eyes look a little bit more open or awake? Is it the concealer underneath, or is it what you're doing up top, or what? What's the answer? for them?
Hydration.
Hydration.
Drink your water.
Yeah.
Drink your
Damn
water.
it. Nothing's going to
Yeah.
fix it easily.
Also concealer.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a must have for me. Yeah.
Yeah. A nice hydrating eye patch, like if you're going out
Oh,
or anything
okay.
like that, it'll definitely make the concealer go on better. And also, you don't need as much as you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You don't.
And we don't need that super light concealer either.
We will
Some
take you up
people
on the
will-
class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
Explain
think that's
that.
huge.
Explain that.
Yeah. So for a while, the trend was the super bright, like way lighter than your
Yeah.
your normal color
Yeah.
concealer. But a lot of times that just highlights
The
the tired. So
We're doing it all wrong.
yeah, it doesn't have to be that bright.
Okay.
It would be cool to do a workshop.
I've been talking about doing that.
We
for
have
years.
for a really long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And when we do lessons, we ask you to bring your makeup bag so we can see what you have.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily going to have to go out and clean out Sephora. You probably have a lot of really great things in your bag, and you just need a couple extra tips on how to use them.
Yeah.
So start there, and then we can make you a little list to go shopping if you need it.
I love
Yeah.
I love that. We should really do
Yeah,
that.
that's a great idea, because I think that's an important point to say too. Like, can we don't have to be embarrassed to show up with like our Shoppers Drug Mart or whatever it is in
No.
our
In a Ziploc
bag.
bag?
Like, yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
okay.
feel like
Yeah.
that's
yeah. Okay,
Not at all.
that's good. To know.
Definitely not.
That's good to know. And very quickly before we go, Brandon, sorry, I can see the eyes. Outside of what you're doing in your day to day, you also are entrepreneurs in other ways, right? And we read that in your bio a little bit. So very quickly, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you each are doing outside of the beauty industry?
I have a little hobby farm. Kind of started as a hobby, and then COVID for me, when we had all that time off,
Mm-hmm.
I'd always wanted to do something with my farm, so it gave me the opportunity to figure that out. And I actually started a lavender farm. So I actually had my first event. What was it, a month ago now? Yeah, like a month ago. I had a lavender U-pick that was pretty
It was
big
crazy
success.
busy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it was pretty awesome. So I have about 500 lavender plants on the side of in a little field on the side of my house, and we have goats and chickens and
awesome.
yeah, so that certainly keeps me busy.
Yeah.
And I have I definitely have plans for that for the future,
Awesome.
and making that a bit of a agrotourism space.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes, but
I never knew there was lavender growing on Coxheath Road. Like, I just think it's so cool to have, to know that this is here and to invite
This
the
place
community to
was
share in
hopping
it.
a
It
month ago.
was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
crazy
it's
busy.
awesome.
I was blown away. I actually couldn't believe, like, I posted it. Actually, Melissa encouraged me to post it. I had been saying I wanted to do it, and she's like, just do it, like right now.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm watching you post it, and I posted it, and I think I woke up the next morning and there was like 160
I don't know what to
shares.
do.
I don't know what to
Wow.
do. I was thinking it was just going to be me, like my mom
Yeah.
and Melissa and my friend Jen and my family and my daughter's friends. They all came to help, and I needed every person I could get because it was so
Awesome.
busy.
We'll put those details in the
Yeah.
show notes too,
Yeah.
so that we
Yeah.
know when your next one is. That's awesome. What about you, Melissa?
So Carson and I also are Airbnb hosts. We have been for quite a while.
Mhm.
Mostly it seems to be medical residents, doctors on locum, people that are coming to the CBRM for work.
Mhm.
So they tend to be a little bit longer term stays, but we really enjoy it.
It's awesome.
And it's something that we'd like to expand on in the future.
Yeah.
Fun.
I love it. I just love that there's like you can do
You
so many
can-
things,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't have to you
No,
can be
you-
talented and skillful and interested and explore like different things,
Absolutely.
different options.
I think if COVID has taught us anything, it's that don't put all your eggs in one basket
Yeah.
if you don't have to.
Mhm.
Like you can have a degree and a professional job and all the things, but if you have something that you truly want to do, give it a try.
yeah.
And it might work out to be something really good.
And like follow that passion or that
Yeah.
creative idea. And
You
like,
never
yeah,
know.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
for
And we
having
can't
us.
wait till our class so you
We'll
can
see.
teach
Yeah,
us
we
all
will
the
not forget
things.
about
Love
that.
that.
So
Yeah, we'll mark that on the calendar before
Yeah.
we leave here.
We need
Definitely.
to do it.
yes.
So fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Why
On behalf of all of us in Cape
Yeah.
Breton, thanks for keeping us beautiful.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank
you
you.
guys so much.
Anytime.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Morning Meeting with Sarah and Jess. We're going to share all of Melissa and Toula's contact information, website, social media handles, etc. in the show notes to make it real easy for you. You can just go there and click or in the description if you're watching us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
catch ya.
Yeah.
Done the flip
Thanks,
side.
Brandon. You're the best. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.